if I buy this game in 2025, I could keep playing this game. And you're only going to pay me one time $1,500. And the only people that get royalties are people that are on the cover.
Yeah, but
I'm opting out. I'm being like Arch.
It's like 75 players per college football team, and there's like how many college football teams are there? So like how much more can you really pay these kids?
$16 million. They're paying out $16 million. Their revenue last year was $2.2 billion.
Okay. Well,
these kids are. So EA Sports is set to pay athletes $1,500 to appear in the new college football game. This is more than double of what was paid out last year. It's also being reported that a company representing the athletes are still negotiating the possibilities of royalties on top of that $1,500 payout. So Rodney, is this enough for a game of this magnitude?
Yeah, they paying these boys good night at a strip club money. They ain't paying I done threw more than that in the strip club now. Hold on now. Is this enough money?
Really peanuts. It's really peanuts. It's bad.
It's nothing. It's nothing. You know, I don't usually get out of my bed for that amount of money. I'm not even trying to be facetious. It's just, I think that's a really low amount of money considering all that goes into even being at a university to be on a video game. So I don't think this is enough money. But I don't know. I don't know how much these video games make. So, you know,
they're bringing in billions of dollars, Rodney.
Because you got to purchase.
EA Sports has made billions of dollars, and it's so disrespectful, Rodney. Because think about when there was the gap, right, and they weren't making the 2K games. People were playing the games from like years and years and years ago. So like, if I buy this game in 2025, I could keep playing this game. And you're only going to pay me one time $1,500. And the only people that get royalties are people that are on the cover.
Yeah, but
I'm opting out. I'm being like Arch.
But you got to think about how many football teams there are. Like it's like 75 players per college football team, and there's like how many college football teams are there? So like how much more can you really pay these kids?
$16 million. They're paying out $16 million. Their revenue last year was $2.2 billion.
Okay. Well,
these kids are making millions of dollars off rip just signing their name. $1 million. And you only going to pay me $1,500 to be on a video game? Come on.
I would like to know what the artist from Def Jam got paid for Def Jam Vendetta. I don't feel like it was much more than this. There's something that my brain goes there. Because now I want to know what other people have gotten paid in order to have their likeness used in a video game. Because historically, I don't even know that people were getting compensated for these things. $16 million is a number. It's a real number. Okay, let me just establish that. Last year was the first time that NCAA football had been around, I think 20 years or something like that. So, of course, out the gate, people were going to flock to it and spend a lot of money on it like that. That goes without saying. People do every year buy new Maddens, new 2K. So I understand that historically the culture of sport video games is every year, you know, people continue to buy those games over again. But I'd be interested to see what year 2 does, kind of similar to, you know, to Unrivaled. Year 1 doesn't tell the whole story. Sometimes there's just a burst of excitement. Was the gameplay adequate? You know, did they fix things that people had complaints about? All of those different things will impact what the sales do. And so until they find a good cadence and an understanding of what their audience is going to continue to do in the way of supporting the game, I don't know that you can cash these kids out, you know, $10,000 a pop to be in a video game. And that number in and of itself sounds wild.
I mean, I think it's levels. I do feel like it's levels, and I hate to even say that, but it should be more equity and not equality. There are some kids who really deserve to make more money. Everybody can't be on the cover. I know last year they tried to put as many kids on that cover as possible, but you got to pay them more than $1,500, Rodney. And they made $600 last year. So I do want to mention that they made $600 last year. And some people was opting out. Like I just said, Arch Manning was like, I'm a pass.
Yeah, no, I'm cool. But he's wealthy. He comes from a very wealthy family. So he's not doing that. Everybody isn't like that. For some kids, you know, there's a lot of kids out there who
600.
Yeah, well, the 15 or the 15 and 1600, they'll never get an NIL deal. right? And so this little bit of money might be the difference between them eating ramen and them being able to afford a turkey burger. That's just the fact of the matter. So, but you bring up a really good point though, in saying that, there are some players, right? There are some athletes who won't even see the field. And so just by virtue of having their name, for real, by virtue of having their name in a video game, they're immortalized to some degree.
Yeah.
They can always refer back to this as something. Your granddad was in, NCAA Football 2025. And that in and of itself, I think is worth $1,500 of always being able to reference and refer back to a day and a time in which you were on a video game. Not everybody has that experience, right? So, for players who are unrecognized, not really considered, not thought of, I'm not talking about the star players. $1,600 goes a long way, but this should be a tiered system. This should be a tiered payout. I do agree with that. Yeah, like if I'm a Heisman candidate. If I'm a Heisman candidate,
well, if you're a Heisman candidate, you're probably on the cover, and so you probably got already some.
Only one guy.
Payout.
Only one guy's on the cover. Only one guy's on the cover, right? That's generally
no.
How
Last
it
year
works.
they had Last year they had like a lot of kids. They were coming out of the tunnel. Remember?
Oh, you're right. That's
it was so they had like
it was
a
the
lot
first
of
year.
Kids.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you did have, and I liked that. I thought that was really neat the way that they did it, but.
What if I have a phenomenal season? Y'all ain't anticipate that I was about to ball out the way I was. I put that work in the off season and I didn't make the cover.
And that's the reason why this company is fighting for royalties. Why are we even fighting for royalties? These kids shouldn't even have to fight for that. That should already be a thing.
Well, Samaria, you already know that people don't like to pay people things in the back end. Like back end payments get very tricky because you leave yourself extremely vulnerable and susceptible to having a lot of success. And when you have a lot of success, generally you don't want to share in that in the aftermath. Right. That's just not what people do. When somebody signs an actor to do a movie, right? You sign Denzel on to do a movie. In most instances, he gets his upfront fee, but he's not getting anything on the back end, which is why the studio is able to invest so much on the front end. Master P said it best. If this white man wants to pay me $2 million for my catalog, what y'all think I'm worth? And you got to make a decision. Is that $2 million enough for you to fork over your rights and your catalog? Or are you going to bet on yourself? Is there another video game around the corner that's going to let you be a part of it? I don't think so. So if you're a young broke college student, you go ahead and just get that money, man. Enjoy your day.
See, that's bad. That's bad. That's predatory. We talked about this a couple of episodes ago.
Yeah, but again, what are you going to do about it? You can't fight it. You're not going to change the system. Certain things just are what they are. We live in a capitalistic society. What are we going to do? We can't fight certain things, right? Unless the college players are going to develop their own video game, which I'm all for. Start your own league, whatever it is. But by virtue of being on this video game, now you have something else to leverage to maybe perhaps get you a better NIL deal somewhere. Right? Like, my likeness is on this video game in perpetuity. So you want me to sell your chicken nuggets? Cool. Sign me up. And that's what it is. Like, remember the kid, remember that, you ever see that meme with the fat kid, that was in Popeyes and somebody took a picture of him.
He plays football now.
He plays football, right?
Yes,
he got an NIL deal. So for him, this is, like, this is house money, man.
All right, you all let us know down in the comments. EA Sports saying they're only paying out $1,500 for all of those players that want to opt in. What do you make of this? Is this a low ball or should they just be grateful? We want to hear from you.